Hello everyone, warm greetings. Welcome to online learning. Today I am going to teach another fresh poem and it is Upon Westminster Bridge composed by William Wordsworth. At first, let's have a short introduction of the poet. William Wordsworth was born in 1770 in Cockermouth in England. He was the paramount of the Romantic poetry. He was one of the best Romantic poets of England. So, Romantic poetry highlights the sentiments, the emotions, and the imaginations of the poets. There are many themes of the Romantic poetry, but most of the Romantic poets made awe of nature as their central concern. Like other Romantic poets, Wordsworth also gave utmost preference to the nature and natural things. In his poetry, we can find clear, detailed, and powerful description of nature. We feel the joyous description of nature in his poetry. He was such a poet who could describe the nature better than anybody else. So we consider Wordsworth as one of the significant poets of England. In this poem, Upon Westminster Bridge, the poet describes the beauty of crowded city of London. He describes the beauty of the London city of the morning. So, what is the situation in the morning? What can we find in the morning? The quietness, the calmness, we say the tranquility, the absence of disturbance. Okay, so we feel only the peacefulness in the morning. So, here the poet takes the very morning as the theme of this poem. So, London is a very crowded city, but in the morning there is no crowd. All the people were asleep. The big buildings, the ships were also immersed in the deep silence. Ships were also drunk in the morning. The air was also so clear in the brightness of the morning. Okay? So this kind of extremely wonderful scene could be viewed, could be felt, and could be experienced only in which part of the day? Only in the morning. So the poet takes this part of the day very much. He likes this part of the day very much, and the poet also describes the river Thames, which runs through London, which has a series of bridges across it, and Westminster Bridge is one of the older and more famous among them. So the poet describes these things of London city as viewed standing upon Westminster Bridge. Now let's start the poem. The opening statement declares that nowhere on this earth is there a more beautiful sight. Means on the earth there is no any places where such kind of beautiful scene can be viewed. Okay, standing upon this Westminster Bridge, Wordsworth saw the most beautiful view. The view was like gaining the heaven. He was so much moved by this view. On the second line, the poet brings a phrase, dull of soul, to light. So, what does the phrase dull of soul mean? Dull of soul refers to a person who does not care for the beautiful things, who can't see the beautiful things, who does not value the beautiful thing. Such kind of people are called dull of soul. So, in short, all the people who do not respond to the beauty of the nature are categorized as dull of soul. So only the dull of soul would be able to pass by this sight which is so moving in its splendor. So the poet says the city is so beautiful, it's fair that you would have to be very callous person, that is dull of soul, not to respond to its beauty. So according to the poet, if anybody ignores this loveliest sight, then he is definitely devoid of any sense of natural beauty. So, in these three lines, the poet tries to prove London's beauty as the loveliest scene. Now, let's see the next. Now, the poet says, after the poet describes the beauty of London city, he furthermore says that the city now doth like a garment. Doth means to wear. So it is an old form of Dutch. The garment means the clothes we wear. So the city was wearing the beauty of morning like a garment. The time is of morning, as I have told before also, and the sun had just risen up The warm and the beautiful sun rays had covered the whole London city, which had really added the charm to the city. The whole London city was wearing the beautiful garment after sunshine. So the garment is the sun rays. The night breaks after the sun rises. The darkness is removed by the morning. Okay, so the sunrise had made the city beautiful, and the poet admires this part of the day as the sun rays had beautified the city. So he also describes the morning. The morning is silent and bare. Peace is deeply rooted at this time. There is no noise, no sound, and no any kind of disturbance in the morning. In this peacefulness, the ships, the towers, the domes, the theaters, and the temples also lie. All these things are bright and glittering in the early morning. So, in these three lines, the poet describes the beautiful things he could view standing upon the Westminster Bridge. So all the things are open onto the fields. The sky also looks so clear. The visibility is very strong because the air is smokeless. There is no pollution in the morning. Air is dust and smoke free. All the things the poet views are bright and glittering. The things are clearly visible even from the green fields that lie in the distance in the unpolluted air of the early morning. So all the brilliantly shining things are shown very nicely by the golden rays of the rising sun. So the poet says that the whole London city is decorated by sun rays, and this scene is very heart touching. So the valley, the rocks, and the hills also look lovely at sunrise. The London city is the loveliest. The view of the London city is the loveliest one, and the river Thames flows freely. It is so deep and calm that its course is not obstructed by the movements of boats and ships. The very houses also seem to be sleeping, means early in the morning. What would the people be doing? Obviously sleeping. So all the schools, colleges, universities, factories, industries will be sleeping. When? In the morning. When the people don't go for the work, the vehicles also do not run. Because of the vehicles, the environment gets sound and air pollution. So when the vehicles don't move, there is no pollution. Okay, the environment also looks very warm. The mighty heart of London city is the large and powerful human activities like industrial, political, cultural, and commercial activities that take place in the city each day, and it is all lying still at this time of the day. London, the heart of the country, remains calm and quiet as if a roaring giant is stilled. The poet makes an impassionate address to God, the creator of all the beauty upon the earth, to express his sincere gratitude to him. Okay, so the dominating theme in the poem is nature. London is not introduced in its negative aspect, but it is inserted in natural scenery. The poet describes the beauty of the city as the towers, the cathedrals, the theaters, and the temples shine. Okay, Wordsworth personifies the city along with the earth and the sun. The poem is a classic example of someone being taken by surprise by the beauty and just staring at it wide-eyed and open-mouthed. The poet spends a significant portion of the poem talking about how great the scenery is rather than describing it. The city's freshness is more beautiful than the freshness of the countryside. The various landmarks visible from the bridge stand before him in all their grandeur. In the morning light, the usually vibrant city is calm now. The impression is made even more touching by poet's knowledge that in a few hours all will be hustle and bustle once again. So this is all about the poem Okay, I hope you have understood the poem. Now there are some questions that you have to answer. So everybody, I request you to answer the question in the fairest handwriting, showing the best presentation.